Fear does not stop you from making choices. It actually makes it for you unless you're aware of it. As humans, we were just born with two kind of fears: fear of falling and fear of loud noises. Rest all the fears we have acquired either through experiences, some have maybe vicariously taught to us, or maybe the way we have perceived situations in our life. Now, fear often resurrects when we have to make decisions as we grow older or grow up as an adult, and sometimes it really holds us hostage so that we are not able to make effective choices for us. If that is you, then this video is definitely for you, because in this video I'm going to talk to you about 3 hidden signs that fear is controlling you and how can you break free of it. And definitely all of these are backed with psychology and neuroscience and some bit of my research that I've been doing in this area. So let's go ahead and talk about it on the drawing board. Alright, so the first hidden sign that fear is controlling your decision making is loss aversion. You know what exactly it is? It is about that your attention is all about what can go wrong rather than what can actually go right. It is about that the pain of your loss becomes so high that the actual pleasure of gaining something or doing something for yourself becomes way, way bigger. I realized that I had this loss aversion as a fear when I was given an opportunity to move from one city to the other for my job, and which is where I'm working right now. Now, back then in Mumbai, I had everything all set. I was living in a joint family, everything's getting done for me, and all of a sudden I have to come out of that all completely good setup to living nuclear in a new city where I haven't lived before. At that point in time, definitely everything in my mind was all about what could possibly go wrong. But once again, like awareness is, the first thing when you find yourself that you are stuck with only scanning and finding what can go wrong, the solution to this is very, very simple. We could do this is something called as reframing. That's the solution for this one. Now, how does reframing actually work? So you reframe your loss itself. You ask yourself, the way I asked myself is that, what is the cost that I am paying for not making this decision right now? Or the other way of looking at it is, once again, that what is the loss, or rather what is the cost of my inaction in this moment? Now, when you do this reframing of your loss actually moves you from the fear of what you think can go wrong versus putting you right here in the moment and thinking about the current situation as a loss, where you have to think about, if I'm always stuck and I'm just getting paralyzed with my overthinking, how can I go ahead and make this moment count and make a better decision? So that's the first one, which is loss aversion, and the solution for it is go ahead and reframe your loss rather than reframing or rather scanning ahead and finding out what could possibly go wrong. All right, so what is the second hidden sign that fear is controlling your choices? The second hidden sign is something that we all have done, haven't we? It is overthinking. We love doing that, right? We think and we overthink and we overthink. Now, once again, fear is something that does not like uncertainty. It likes everything in black and white. Either this is happening or this is not. Either it is good or bad. So what overthinking in a very simple terms is that the mind then continuously goes about finding data, what it can support this overthinking with. It is scanning for information, scanning for data all the time so that it gets more and more information. What it does not understand is that it's okay to gather information. I'm not saying that's bad, but you need to put a stop to it at some point in time, right? Because endless gathering data and not making sense out of it and making a decision out of it itself is a not good place to be, isn't it? I was aware of this, that I am stuck with overthinking myself, is because way back in my 20s, I was in a very unhealthy relationship and I knew that I am in a wrong place. But once again, I was busy finding data after data, that instances after instances, that okay, shall I move out of it? Shall I stay with it? And it took me years to understand that I'm stuck in this overthinking cycle. So if you're also someone who overthinks all the time, what can you do to break free from overthinking? Let's get onto the drawing board and see. So one of the things that I found can really help us with rather stopping overthinking is it's called as affect labeling. What affect labeling actually does is that it allows you to differentiate or delineate between the emotion and the fact, which means, for example, if you're stuck in that cycle and you tell yourself, I'm not confused, I'm actually anxious, right? Second thing could be, I am not uncertain, actually I have fear of making a wrong choice. What this thing just did to you is that firstly you became honest with yourself that yes, I am confused, yes, I am someone who's not in the best place, I am uncertain. Instead of saying no, I'm just taking my own time, just be honest to yourself, right? And then label that emotion in that place. The moment I also did that, I was like, I am not just gathering information, I'm not really confused. I am actually feeling that if I break out of that relationship, I'll be left alone and lonely. Now, in that moment when I made that, it just told me very, very clearly, it made me far more objective to understand that right now that fear is controlling me and I've just got into the cycle of overthinking. And the only thing that I can break out of that is to know and acknowledge first that I'm in that place, and then kind of label it and come out of it and look at it in a different lens, right? So that's something that you could do when you're stuck in the cycle of overthinking. What is the third hidden sign that that you are stuck with, that holds you from making right decisions in your life? Let me rephrase, not right decisions in your life. And that is one of my favorites, called as justifying your delay. Now, this is something that I'm sure a lot of us have done. I have done it for so long. That when you're stuck in that cycle of either the loss aversion or overthinking, you start not just telling yourself but others also around you that I'm not overthinking, I'm just taking my own time. I am not someone, I am not pushing my decision away, I am just being realistic. Now, I'm not saying take decisions out of impulse and just make it very fast, but once again, you need to know where to draw the line and say and be aware that yes, I am just overthinking and rethinking, and let me not justify it in a way where it actually starts making me feel that I am the one who's right. Because delaying things unnecessarily and not making a choice is a choice in its own self, isn't it? So, what is it that you could do when you find yourself in this cycle of justifying your own delay or procrastination? Because that's not going to help anyone. So, there is a very interesting tool that I have found, or rather it was tossed by Susie Welch way back in 2008, and that's called as the 10-10-10 rule. Now, what does this mean is that when you're stuck in the place where you're justifying your delays or you're not able to make a decision, ask yourself, how would I feel about this decision, say 10 weeks, 10 days, or 10 months down the line? When you ask this with yourself, what you actually do is that instead of being stuck in this fear in the moment, you play the long-term horizon. You detach yourself from the situation and you say, okay, 10 months down the line, when I look back upon how did I make a choice in this moment, will I be proud of myself? It's more about what's the story that you will tell yourself about yourself. It's an excellent tool, and I've used it, or rather I use it so many times, because it allows you to break free and do a long-term thinking rather than just being stuck with who you are right now, trying to just justify a lot of things and the procrastination and the delay. Go ahead and use, or rather find yourself, if you're stuck in any of these three signs, and use these tools that I've given you to break free out of them. Because the fact is, you can't stop fear from being in your life or being there, because that's what makes us live, right? What we're just trying to do is we're just changing fear's job description, because fear is supposed to protect us. and not lead us in our life. And that's where the problem starts, because clear decision making is one of our, I would definitely say, one of the biggest skills that we could ever learn. So go out there and put these tools into practice and tell me how did it go. And if you're someone who's always looking for piece of content that allows you to make better decisions, more confident and with more confidence and clarity, so definitely go ahead and sign into this channel and subscribe, and let's start showing up together, because this is your friend Nehaa Beotra, who will always remind you that you're way stronger than you think.